Good morning, it's Wednesday about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to take a look at Bitcoin here, primarily more on a long-term time frame. So we have a good idea of what Bitcoin has done historically and what we can expect potentially for this next future event. So this morning we're still doing very well, 34,000. But what I want to draw attention to is the last cycle that we went through here. So hopefully all these lines aren't confusing, but I've drawn a dashed blue line where I've signaled that the bull rally has ended in the past. So here in 2013, this blue line denotes where it stopped going up, right? And we just had our bear cycle, and these green lines here is when it started again. And I have the red horizontal lines kind of indicating the previous all-time highs. So from when we bust through the previous all-time high to the end of that bull run, that's what's basically visualized in this small little box right here. So you can kind of see how we have these big rises up in relatively short time frames, and then we have long drawn out bear markets which form somewhat of these cup shapes. So they're not perfect cups like this one. It wasn't a perfect cup. This one was much more symmetric, but that's cryptocurrency for you. So now, if we look into 2017, we can see that we had that all-time high there, and we broke it, and then that was kind of the beginning of the bear market here. You can see that roughly they're not too different in lengths, right? I mean, they're quite symmetric. They're not completely exact, but I think that it's worth looking at once and drawing comparisons. So let's draw attention that we are on a month-to-month time frame, which is really more investing versus day trading. So these bars are indicating big gains, and it doesn't look like very much right there when we have a monthly time chart. But what we can really see is that when Bitcoin is in a bull market, it's not even getting towards, let's say, the 12 EMA. It might touch down, well, that's before it's breaking this previous all-time high. So we can see here that it's never going to touch this 12 EMA until, when it did, it certainly did fail. And in the past year, it was a little bit more forgiving, but all the same, I think that it's a relative indicator to at least keep a partial eye on. And we can take a look and see how these exponential moving averages look on different time frames. So if we look at this, I mean, why did I draw this one right here? Because I used the same general time frame of the bull market last time. Granted that this first one was a much longer one. I'm using the last one as a relevant comparison. So from here, we have about 10 months of bull market versus our more or less 4 years of bear. So I'm going to look at this as a short window of opportunity, and I've almost set the due date as October 21st, 21. I mean, could it go longer? For sure it can, right? But just as a general estimation, as a general time frame, to say, hey, maybe I should start worrying about us being at the peak of this bull run when the euphoria kicks in, I think it's going to be a smart idea. So I'm just going to pull it back a little bit because I've also made this point here on the double RSI in the previous video. But we can see here, it peaks up once, retraces back and comes up again, and then that's kind of the signal of the top. So right there, it's right on the top in 2013, and when we look at the 2017, it's crazily enough, it's the same idea. We have this kind of double top, way overextended on the monthly time frame on the RSI. So I'm definitely going to be looking at this. So good news is that we haven't formed our first top. We'd have to have it come down and have it come up one more time, and then I'd be a little bit more worrisome about the price and its potential downward turn, at least for a couple of years. So looking at that, I think that's very, very, very relevant for people that have assets in cryptocurrency right now. So I'm just going to pull it back to a weekly time frame and see how this stuff looks in that aspect. And you can see it's a little bit more like drawn out, right? It's not so short and compact. And you can see that during this upward run, there is down traces as well. And to take a look at this historically, the last run, Bitcoin would typically have around 30 to 40% pullbacks. That was just kind of natural. So the first one here after we busted through there was about 33%. And then one a little bit further up here was close to about 40%. So we could say somewhere between 33 and 34% dip on that first one above here. And we're up in here, and we've definitely made a huge jump. It's not crazy to be expecting. It's an inevitable pullback, and I would be very surprised if it didn't go. I'd be surprised if it didn't hit a 30 to 40% pullback. When it does do it, that's probably what we were looking at, not 5% pullback. Those aren't really pullbacks. And if that is the case, just to mentally prepare you, we'd be looking at somewhere like low 20s, like 23,000. Like when you think of 33% of 35,000, you're looking at 10 plus thousand, right? So it's definitely going to be a huge number loss. So when people that bought in above 20,000 look at Bitcoin that has lost 10 grand in value, let's say within a week or two, I imagine that will shake out a whole bunch of people that bought in above 20,000, and only the strong hands will be still in here, realizing that it's completely normal and it should be expected as well. So some of the stuff, I mean, you can't see as much as on the. I don't think the comparisons are going to be as applicable, let's say on the weekly, let's say with the RSI comparison here, but we can see that we're definitely going up here. Just going to pull it back one more time. But I think it's pretty black and white. You can see that we are in this new box up here, right? We're just entering this box, and it's overall, what was the overall gain? Well, that's where people will do the projections. Let's say it went 1,600% ish. We went here. We're gonna run out of chart room, but I can only get it up that high. Pull back a little bit. I need to see something here, just for make the point. Just gonna hit the log scale here, see if I can get a different. All right, sorry to waste your time there. But either way, you can see that it's got a lot of way to go. I'll have to figure out how I can do some of those projections in the future, but it's up here, right? I mean, 20,000 times 1,600% is a big number. So yeah, I just wanted to go over that because I felt like it was something relevant for the future that's going to be coming here. So we just kind of got started. We got lots of room in this bull market. There's lots of potential gains to be had, but we don't want to get too sidetracked in looking at all the potential small coins here that we could make 50% one day and then 30% loss the next day, and they're exciting as heck, but I think majoritively speaking, we should just have most of our assets in these bigger, more trusted, more secure, more they're more confirmed. So we should have most of our money in these bigger plays, and then if we want to play with a smaller percentage, forgive me, that's what I would be doing. So let's briefly look at the rest of the market here. Yeah, we can see it's confirmed the total cryptocurrency cap, so well above the all-time high here. So huge amounts of volume. It's not just artificial. It's awesome. Now we can see the altcoins here and see that, this is excluding the Bitcoin. So we're not quite in full bull territory for all these altcoins either. But Bitcoin usually leads and then brings the rest with them. Ethereum has had a couple good weeks, man. Like, it's definitely bumped up here. I'd say since it's busted through that 800 level, it's probably going to climb all the way up to this previous place right here. Now, just like it's really tough to break an all-time high after you've just come up on a completely straight vertical ascent. So it's tough to say exactly what's going to happen here. We could see a rejection and just see it come back down a little bit. We could see the Ethereum 30-40% correction around here, then see it come back, consolidate, and blast up. Or we could see it blow right through here, because there's not a whole bunch of buying and selling here. There's not much. It's pretty much unknown territory. So we could see this break right through and go to, you know, further all-time highs into, like, you know, your guess is as good as mine, and then have a 30% pullback. Like Bitcoin didn't just go right above 20 then bust down, so Ethereum might be heading into, let's say, the same relative increase of from 20 to 35, which would be, you know, over a 50% gain, about 75%, right? So we could see Ethereum having a 75% increase on its last high of 1,000. If we were just going to do a straight ubiquitous comparison, DOT here, I mean, I just want to got away a little bit. Now I'm just trying to wait for a better entry point, because it did come up. It's you can see it's kind of hovering around this overbought region. I mean, I would like to get a little bit of this. I mean, but you don't want to buy high, so gotta wait for good opportunities. I was also playing this one. I got a little bit of this, so I was happy about it. It hasn't quite got overextended too much, but it is a little bit, so I wouldn't go sell the house for Uniswap right now. It had its pump. Kusama. I ended up changing some of my old Neo asset into this, and of course Neo had a great day today after being dead, but I just kind of gave up on that. I should have gave up a long time ago. It was just we'll see if I regret that decision, but I wanted to get my risky assets into something new and exciting versus something old and stagnant, that there won't be the same amount of flair with something old that has failed 3 times to become something great. So that's what in my mind, and there is no actually work being shown done. So with all those reasons, it's just like, yeah, I'll have to abandon it. Ren here. Ren's one of those coins on Coinbase that helps. It's with decentralized finance, it helps basically wrap Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is a little bit complicated, but I'm not going to even attempt to go into explaining it. All I know is that it's a Coinbase coin that's one of these ones that's a newer one that's showing pretty good promise with some of the people looking into the deeper structure of it. Ocean is involved in the Polkadot ecosystem, so I know that it's linked with DOT. So we're hoping that Kusama, Ocean are all linked to DOT. So you can find that when you go to, let's say we use CoinGecko, and just when you click on a coin, let's say we go to Polkadot, it'll show the DOT ecosystem. And then you can see all the different coins associated with Polkadot. So I got the Chainlink a little bit, the Kusama. I ended up just making a position in here. I made a small position here. I even got a really small position in Anchor. And what else did I get? A little bit of Acropolis. So I know that these aren't like huge coins, but there's a lot more potential for huge gains, right? Especially if this ecosystem does well in the future. So that's how sometimes you can, I mean, buy some lotto tickets. I mean, I got hundreds of dollars into those, not like thousands. So don't think I'm putting the kitchen sink in that. But Ocean Protocol here, I mean, I bought in somewhat down here, and we had a nice pump up to the top. Now I'm a little bit hesitant, as it looks like it quite easily could be rejected and come back down and test this and go sideways within here, but quite easily too with everything pumping. Like you could see it just blow right up here. So I'm not selling it. I'm going to hold on, and it's just a couple $100 that I like to use. The Hex here that is hated by most people. I mean, it seems like it's doing really well technically. I'm very happy and surprised by it, honestly. That, I mean, there's not more sell-off, but you can see here, every time it's dipping down, there's like extreme buy pressure that's buying it up. So this is just a staking coin, more or less, and you can stake your coin it depends on how long that you lock it in for. You'll get your interest paid in the same coin, hex. With it reaching the all-time high there, it was good. I just don't know, since it was that was a pretty bearish candle, but we're just continually rising up, and if we can get above this level here and continue to go, I mean, yeah, this could be a really good one. Looking at Chainlink, this thing has been kind of just been stagnating. I mean, it had such a great run. Everyone got in the know about with it, and then I think a lot of people started buying in here, and then seen it kind of go down sideways to the right, down and to the right. That's the last thing we want. And then especially with that last candle here, that's what scared me there. I'm not sure if that just shook everyone out. I mean, I don't have all my Chainlink on, but I mean, I did have a lot more. But seeing it go sideways and see all these other coins come up, I definitely reallocated some of it. Now, seeing Chainlink break this here, it is a very optimistic kind of sign here. And we did somewhat break that last little previous high. We got rejected down here, so it's going to be an interesting few days for Chainlink to see if we can break through this prior resistance. Let's say right there, just at about 1630, and have the bar close there and start moving up. And that'd be very bullish for Chainlink in my opinion, because it's been kind of in a mini, well, I don't want to say bear market, but crap, I mean, it's been on a decent retracement from August 20th all the way to now. So every other coin since August, I mean, a lot of them have done a lot well. So sometimes you got to pick which ones are ready to pump again, and Chainlink might be one of those ones we can take a look at. So you can see it has broken up quite obviously. Same here, it broke up the RSI. It's seeming like it's wanting to go up again. So taking another look at this from this angle, we can also see that it has went through a typical retracement. So we usually have an A, B, C as a retracement correction phase. And if we can break above, let's say with this next run, we will be in the bull run still, you know. So if we can get some type of pattern that breaks this all high here, we will continue. We will continue up. But what can happen is that, let's say we do some type of 5-wave structure or less than 5 waves, and we don't break that all-time high. Sorry about the ugly mess right here. Then we would consider that a failure, and we would expect another ABC correction pattern down. We would have another something like this. And yeah, that's not what we want to get into investing, but that's not what I expect. I much more assume that we're going to enter in another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phase up, and maybe Chainlink's a good place to start shifting some assets into. It's tough to say to take it out of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I mean, those are the staples. I know it might drop 30%, but you never know how high it can go, and it's a dangerous game if you're not fully committed to trading. If you're not sitting at the computer 24/7, I mean, it's tough to go to work and just come back and be like, oh, I'm glad I put my Bitcoin into Tether and now it's up another 20 grand. I mean, so you don't want to be doing that stuff most of the time. 88 had a nice break up here. I mean, I'll tell you, I did draw this stuff here. I mean, I think I got like 20 bucks of 88 on some old exchange, but we did draw this line here. I knew that if we could break above this, it'd be a positive thing. And let's just see how high it has went. Come on, buddy. Oh, 129% increase. So well done for 88. What can I say about this here? I mean, let's just pull it on the monthly here. That's a weird candle down there, but yeah, we can see we're charging up on the monthly. The weekly, we are a little bit over. We're getting into that overextended range. So if you just swung trade Cardano, it wouldn't be crazy to start leveling off some profit right now. Same thing here with that big wick there. I mean, you never know how far it's going to go before it has a little retracement down. So just like every other coin, Cardano could easily retrace 33% any day. So depends on how much you'll leave in these coins, or if you're just swing trading these ones to reallocate it into Bitcoin. I'd be much more happy, let's say, if you bought Cardano here, then sold it here for Tether, and then you just had a lot more fiat to basically pick and choose your entry points. Look at some of these other ones. Monero. Looks like we had a little dip here. So yeah, everything does sell, right? I mean, what goes up must come down. And you can see Monero now is a little bit more, you could say it's a little bit more fair priced. A little bit better value. This is a, what do we want to call it? Privacy coin, so no one can tell what you're doing. Have a couple big sell candles here. I'm not sure about the future of privacy coins, but I like to watch this one because, yeah, this is the NEM, Japanese coin. Hasn't really been doing too much, hasn't broke past that one level, so we're not going to spend too much time. XLM. I seen that this one had a nice retracement. I bought a couple $100 of it, and, you know, hallelujah, I guess. I mean, nice. It's always nice when it goes up down there. I mean, I was feeling like a little silly when I bought it, because I was just like, oh, I don't know if this is going to follow the path of Ripple or what, but, yeah, XLM had a nice big pump, and, let's put an alert here because most of my alerts have been triggered because the market's moving, man. The market's moving, so let's keep this up in here, and you could think that, yeah, XLM, it's kind of like Ethereum. Like it had a huge wick here. It's not kind of like Ethereum, but it's approximating. It's similar to Ethereum in the way that it's coming and approaching its all-time high. It's very vertical, and it's kind of scary to see what it might do. But XLM is one of those ones that people just like buying coins that are less. People don't like buying $35,000 Bitcoin and they get 0.001 of it. They'd rather have 1,000 XLM. So token metrics, or the psychology of buying like things at different prices, comes into play a little bit. Coming back here, Litecoin has been doing good. I just kind of have like, it did break past this point, so it'll likely pump and go up and down this year, even though it's a piece of shit and doesn't do anything. It has no developers and just it's a replica of Bitcoin. But people look at Litecoin as pretty darn cheap when Bitcoin's at 35,000 and it's got the same general, you know, it's a copy of it. It's a copy of it that they do testing to see if shit will work for Bitcoin. So I'm not really sure. It should do okay. I mean, it works. The currency works. I mean, looks like we had some big buy volume here. I mean, I shifted all my Litecoin out for Ethereum. To be honest, I sold all of it. Litecoin used to be my largest position, to be honest, last bull market. And I did see it go from, let's say, I don't know when I got in, around this $40 area. I seen it go from 40 to 400-ish. And then all the way back down to 20. So that was a little bit discouraging for me. And then when all these other markets were pumping so well, it just seemed to be dead. So for me, I have a little bit of disdain for Litecoin, but either way, if it's severely underbought, I'll probably trade it. EWT, so this is Energy Web. This is like some type of digitized energy. And we look on the weekly here, it looks like we're having a good looks like we're having a break of the trend upward here, so that is quite bullish. We've clearly broke out, and yeah, I've only had a little bit, but I got a little bit, so I bought some. I don't know where. I just held on to it. So this is something that reminds me of Power Ledger last time, and these can 10x just for no damn reason. And this has got connections with like power companies, and it's all part of that damn carbon agenda, you know, to like basically carbon credits and that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't really support this in a fundamental stance, but hey, maybe I can own my 30 carbon credits in the future. You know, I just bought it kind of as one of those lottery tickets. In BNB here, we have Binance Coin. This is what mostly they switched the development of Neo into this one. So I knew that they started working on this and stopped working on the Neo. So it's pretty tough to hold all your money there. But all the same, I guess you can say that Binance is starting to bust through its all-time highs as well. So I don't really look at Binance as well, but yeah, they have their own coin. Just like, let's say, Kraken coin, if they had a coin actually. So this is the Binance exchange, and an interesting logo. I know they changed that, but it just looks like the Freemasonic label now. But Most people won't know what that means, but for those that do, yeah, you won't be able to not see it. And let's look at these other ones. These purple ones that are just like brand new. So this one, Anchor, is a part of the Polkadot ecosystem. It's not like in a huge breakout, but these are ones that could have huge gains. Like, let's just be honest. I mean, high risk, high reward at some point. So we have a symmetric triangle. I mean, we have busted this all-time high. So it's worth the risk to me. I'm not risking very much. This one is a lot more aggressive. I mean, it's almost just on principle that I'm in some of this stuff, that it's a part of that Polkadot ecosystem. And you could say they're both in kind of symmetric triangles. They're either gonna, they'll boom or bust. That's kind of how these things will work. So you can see, yeah, there's kind of some symmetry coming up and down, and your guess is as good as mine which way it'll go. But seeing as that we're in a bull market, yeah, that's why I have it on here. FA is another one of those ones linked to Polkadot ecosystem, and I'm not on any of these platforms to trade it, so it's tough to get it. Waves, another one that I've just kind of partially looked at. I mean, it looks like it's doing quite well. It's well above its bull run. It's actually kind of had a little bit of pullback now that I'm looking at it. Looks like right here we're kind of having a retracement. So this might be something to take a look at, is maybe it's good to swing trade into this thing. So it's had a nice run. Maybe we can look at this and say, hey, maybe we can have a good 30% pullback, and where's that? Oh, well, we're already at that 40% pullback, so to see if we can see some other possible entries here. And yeah, we can see it's 0.5 retracement, and I mean, yeah, if I could get some waves in this range, I mean, I'd be loading up on it, to be honest, just because that's how it works in this market. Alpha, not much data in that sense. Let's go this way. It's this hovering right there. Let's put an alert here. Let's get some of these alerts back, getting us out of bed. So let's put it something like that, because could be some potential there. And let's see what else we got. We got Parsec, another new one. It's above its point. I don't know what I was looking at there, but it might be also a little bit more. These new ones are tough to give much insight technically. I can just kind of say what they're related to. So this ring here, this is another Polkadot one, and I just like how it's rounding up right here, and we did bust through. But I don't know any. XRT, I'm not really sure about these ones too much. Some of these are just related to the Polkadot ecosystem. And then EOS, I don't like EOS. Look, it had a big gain there. I was going to jump into there. Same with Ripple. I mean, things go up and down, but this has been deemed a security and it's got fined, and so has XRP. So I don't really need that FUD in my life. There's too many other choices to be taking those risks. Anyway, I'm going to call this a video here, and hopefully y'all have a good day. And yeah, I'll try to make a video in the morning just to go over the cryptocurrency charts, because you kind of need to, because it moves so fast. All right, have a good day.